the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, good evening once again, race fans, and welcome to the Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the PRO Sidewinder Dirt Series 360 Wing Sprint Cars at USA tonight. About 16 winged warriors have checked in for the action this evening. Expect a couple of more before they run out of time here, but in about a minute and 40 seconds, they'll be heading down to qualifying. We'll be heading off to our pre-race ceremonies. Want to welcome everybody in. Don't forget, if you're on Facebook, come by the Dirt Racing Network's Facebook page. Like, share, and follow. And if you're over on YouTube, Twitch, or Trovo, hit subscribe. You'll know every time we go live. 5 nights a week. Just a couple of cars making some laps here. Casey Miller getting in a little extra practice out there, as we can see. Tim Johnson has his car down on the surface as well, but drivers about to go into their drivers meeting here any second. They will do that prior to going out for qualifying. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get our pre-race ceremony started. When we come back, we'll be in qualifying. We'll be ready for heat race action. So hang around for just a couple of minutes.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All righty. Drivers, many of them completing their time. Nick Chambrone here. Back to the white and blue paint on the 01 car. Right now, Peyton Grease, 18.64 seconds. JP Scheiderer at 18.66. And then Nick Cohen, 18.71. Trevor Hinker just jumped to fourth. Where we see Chambrone, seventh quick, 18.74 for Chambrone. That will be the last of Ryan Bueller maybe out here getting a lap or two in. Yeah, Ryan Bueller trying to wrap up his qualifying effort. Jumps all the way to third, 18.68. Good for third quick. So Bueller in attendance and near the top of the speed chart tonight. All 16 drivers have taken time. Just wait for the rest of the session to run out. Guys, say hi in the chat. Let us know you're there. I see Cody Terry already watching. He's over at the Hillbilly High Banks, I am sure. Probably sitting in the easy chair right in front of the big screen checking things out. If I disappear, and I hope that I don't, the only reason I would is because the internet dropped out. It is because storms are rolling into the area. I don't think they're going to be too severe for a few hours, so I think we're going to be able to get this in pretty easily here. But if I do drop off, please accept my apologies pre-event as... Okay, as the storms will have done that. But our first heat race of two, gridding out on the track on the pole. Old Garlic himself, Josh Gerlach, the 71 car on his outside, Trevor Hinker in the 24. Your second row inside, Ryan Bueller. Qualified there third quick. He starts position number 3 in heat 1 in the 07 car on his outside. PG Peyton Grease in the 92. Robert Mueller will start the 003 car on the inside of row number 3 next to Joe Reuter in the 20. And your final row for heat race number 1 will be Tim Johnston, the 28, inside, and Jerry Watkins, the 011, on the out. So heat 1 will roll away a couple, probably not even a couple of pace laps. I bet they give them the green flag down here in turn number 4. This league very, very astute about getting these guys short on pace laps, keeping things nice and quick. They get their evenings moving along, and they keep them that way. Usually the drivers help out quite a bit by giving us some good, competitive, clean racing here. So we'll see. It has been really Casey Miller's show. He's the champ from last season, and he has been kind of putting it to these guys a little bit this season. We've seen a lot of noise out of the 71 car. All right, green flag in the air. Heat race number 1 is underway. Gerlach quickly, big advantage. Bueller slid up into second. Grease from the outside of the front row, or the outside of row number 2, moved to the inside. And now he takes over that third and final transfer spot. Hinker into fourth, and he's not done with Grease just yet. Going to try to move to the high side. Grease going to move up, cover the line right there. It's a good battle behind. Mueller, Reuter, and Johnston all right here on top of one another. Jerry Watkins a little ways back. He might want to miss if there's any contact and somebody gets out of shape. So taking his time riding back there, clear of the debacle that could happen in front of him here. Bueller closed up a lot in 1 and 2 on Gerlach that time. As Grease now is pulled to the inside of Bueller off 4. 4 laps to go, halfway home in the first heat race. It's side by side for second. And Bueller got a great run out of 2, almost pulled alongside the leader, Josh Gerlach. Now cuts down to the inside. Carr on the left, sir. Carr on the left. As he slows Grease's momentum. And that puts Grease in danger of Trevor Hinker taking a shot at him here. But I think that's going to get settled in 1 and 2. And now it's just the top 2 out in front. 3 to go this time around. Gerlach trying to hold off Bueller. Grease is making another run up here. Peyton Grease trying to get back into the action. May not be as forgiving if he gets back to the 7 car. We'll get around through here with just 2 to go. That time, Bueller goes to the high side. Gerlach's in the middle. 3 wide for the front stretch. Lead changing hands as Bueller goes to the point. Grease went through the grass. He's going to lose the back end of the car. Going to have to grab it hard. Lock it down. He keeps third, but that is going to settle things out. There's a big gap now. First to second, second to third is Bueller. Went around the top side of the 3 wide, took the lead. He probably won't have to look back. He's got this well in hand. Keep it pointed forward. Finishes 2 more corners, and he is going to win Heat 1. Gerlach, Grease, and Hinker in the top 4 here. Everybody's going to the feature tonight, so no eliminations. And Grease is going to go after Gerlach, but he's not going to get it. Bueller, Gerlach, Grease, Hinker, Reuter, your top 5. Then Johnston, Watkins, and Mueller. Rounding things out. Heat 1. 3 wide for the lead. That's pretty tasty right there, folks. If you don't like that, I don't know what kind of race fan you are. Heat 2. Gridding out on the front stretch. And on the pole, the 01 of the Jabroni, Nick Chambrone. And next to him, defending series champion in the 05, Casey Miller. Row 2 on the inside, Nick Cohan, the 21. On the outside of him, J.P. Scheider. And Scheider has had some fun. He was leading a couple weeks ago over at Lernerville. And on the final lap, jumped out the window in turn 2, went off the top side of the track and gave up the win. We'll see if he's here for redemption this week, and maybe he can pull things off and shake off the bad luck. Third row on the inside, the 86 of John Borsett. On his outside in the 21 car, that is going to be G-Body Garrett Boyd. And your final row for the final heat race of the evening, Robert Lynn, the 2 car inside, and Corbin Hutchison in the 19 on the outside. 8 more cars, everybody featuring. They'll be in here for that 30-lap feature tonight. We'll get this heat out of the way. The guys will probably take a few minutes to work the track a little more, and then they will get after it. As it looks like I only saw 7, but I might be off a little bit. No, there's 8 cars out there. Somebody was out of line, messed up my head, but Chambrone comes out of turn 2 with the lead, and Scheider jumps all the way to second. He's going to put Miller and Cohan side by side for third and fourth right now. Cohan off the top side has the advantage. Miller now right in front of Garrett Boyd. Down the backstretch, right past the speed cam in turn 3. Watching Garrett Boyd go after the series defending champion. And Boyd's in 5th. Miller is in 4th. These two battle it out. Chambrone, quarter second over Scheider. Cohan, another quarter second back. Then Miller. And Miller's trying to close in on Cohan. And he is dragging the 21 car of Garrett Boyd right along with him. Miller loses ground in 1 and 2. Cohan stretches it out from a couple of car lengths to about 5. As we're watching the battle, 4th and 5th. Nothing happening in the top 3. Scheiderer starting to close in. Going to be 3 to go this time out of turn number 4. Oh, Scheiderer with a big blink right there as he got alongside for a second. Now falls back. Top 3 equal separation. 1st to 2nd, 2nd to 3rd. We're getting down to it. Only 2 to go. Scheiderer may go for the slider right here. Short slide on Chambrone. And Chambrone checked the car up. Now he's going to go back after him. Long slider this time up the hill. He didn't get it there. That may open the door for Cohan. But Cohan is going to use the momentum. And he'll move to 2nd. So in the previous lap, don't know what I was going to say. In the previous lap, Nick Chambrone dropped from the lead to 3rd, and Cohan went after Scheiderer in 1 and 2 on the white flag lap. I think that settles things. JP Scheiderer will pick up the win. Close out heat racing action here. Cohan in 2nd, Chambrone in 3rd, and Miller's going to hold Boyd off. That's 4th and 5th. Borst around Lynn. He takes 6th. Lynn in 7th, and Hutchison is going to not even lip the car across. Somehow he got turned over. Coming out of 4 on the white flag lap. So good action. And Chambrone went from leading to 3rd in a stretch of 4 corners. So we'll give the drivers a chance to get back to the pits. We'll figure out how long they're going to have in their warm-up session. It looks like we're going to run a B main here, probably just for starting positions. It looks like we will. It looks like we're going to put these guys all back out here. They're all going to the feature. So they must just be doing this for final starting spots. Put a little extra wear in the track, which is good for everybody. It'll be Hinker and Miller in row 1, Reuter and Boyd in row 2, Johnston and Borst in row number 3, and then Watkins, Lynn, row 4. And Mueller and Hutchison in a row number 5. Only waiting on Garrett Boyd, and there he comes. Dropping into the grid. So, rolling away. Going to be a B main 10 laps. Their final starting positions. Row 3 on back will be determined right here. So drivers set to go green out of turn number 4. On the throttle, green flag in the air. Hinker out of 2 has the lead. Miller's in 2nd. Then Reuter trying to hold off Boyd in 3rd. Boyd has the high side right now, and he is going to squeeze by on the top and come out of turn 4 in 3rd place. Move Reuter back to 4th. Jim Johnston into 5th. Morse sitting in 6th. And then Watkins side by side with Lynn. That settles out as Watkins has the advantage, and Corbin Hutchison uses the top side. He goes all the way around Robert Lynn and Robert Mueller down the back stretch. All Hinker, half a second over Miller. Then Boyd in tow behind that, and Reuter in right behind Garrett Boyd, your top 4. Right along here with Joe Reuter. See what he sees out in front of him. you doing, JP? Well, of course I can. I took English in college, and I learned how to pronounce words. It's all phonetics, man. It's easy stuff. Looks like Boyd maybe making a move on Miller right here. We'll get back to the long angle. He got up close, pulled alongside, then lost some momentum out of 2. 5 to go this time is all Hinker. 0.8 of a second out in front of this three-way battle. Second, third, and fourth. Miller in third, Miller in second, Boyd in third, and Reuter took a peek. He was fourth, stays there as he could not get completely alongside and keep the momentum up. I think Boyd is just biding his time, looking for the spot where he can get the run out of the corner and beat Miller down the next straightaway and throw that slider going into the next corner, 1 or 3. Every time he thinks he's got a run, he loses a bunch of distance in the middle of the next corner that we come to. Runs it in on him in 3 and 4. Now goes for it in 1 and 2. Up to the top. He's got the throttle back in him, and Miller's got a good run. Miller may be able to go right back by. I think Boyd brushed the fence, and Miller will go slider line. Boyd is going to have to cross over. So inside 2 to go now, and it's a slider battle for second place. Boyd left the top open. That might do it. Miller has enough momentum to start getting away, and here comes Reuter. They're bringing Tim Johnston into the mix on this too, as the white flag flies over Trevor Hinker's car. So now 4 cars, second, third, fourth, and fifth here under a blanket. Oh, Miller finds the outside wall. There goes one. I don't know if Reuter's going to be able to get around, but the right rear brushed the fence and slowed Miller down. Now Reuter goes to the inside. Hinker wins the B main. Boyd is second. Miller will hang on for third. Reuter fourth. Johnson fifth. Hutchison's come home in sixth, right in front of John Borst in seventh. Robert Mueller 8th, and then Robert Lynn and Jerry Watkins 9th and 10th. So all of our preliminary racing action out of the way. Going to see how long they give the drivers. Probably ain't going to be a whole long time here. So we will get ready. We'll run out of here. We'll pay a bill. We'll come back, and maybe these guys will be ready for the feature. All right. Back to it. Drivers working the track in. I see a lot of guys trying to work on the top line a little bit. I don't know if they're trying to iron it in or run it out. Two very distinct entry lines here at USA. Into the corners. And they both come back together at the exits, and everybody kind of wants to be up near the wall. Not right at it, but near it on the exit of 2, exit of 4. The exit of 4 right up against the wall, there is a very big bump that develops, and it'll really upset your car. So about halfway through what I think is going to be a full-on warm-up session. Drivers really want to work the track down. The slicker you get the corners, the more this track opens up. And if you can take the top and wipe it completely out, you'll bring the middle and the bottom into play for the entire feature here. Working the time down. These guys really want to get the track worked completely in, want to iron it out nice and flat. I don't think you can do that on the front stretch here. I think a bulldozer is what we would need to iron it out nice and flat, because a rhythm section really kind of develops down that front stretch up on the high side, and the car really gets to bouncing. Especially if you started off coming out of 4-2 wide. So some of you can see in the chat that Peyton Grease has accepted the back row challenge tonight. He was set to start on the pole, and he is going to start P16. We won't even lay the odds on what is going to happen now. Greasification. That's what we're going to call it. All right, time winding out on the warm-up session. That means it is feature time, folks. Cold beverages, your snacks. Have it all in order, because right now your attention needs to be focused on what is about to happen out on the racetrack. Drivers already popping onto the grid, and we know that it'll be Bueller and Scheiderer, Gerlach and Cohan, and then Grease and Chambrone. But I think Grease was supposed to go to the pole, and he is going to go back to position number 16. So Hinker and Boyd, the fourth row. Miller and Reuter in row number 5. Row 6, Johnston and Hutchison. And then Borst and Mueller in row 7. And Lynn and Watkins in row number 8. So we'll see exactly how they end up lining up. Once they start rolling off, they'll fix all that. All right, drivers have rolled away. So it looks like Scheiderer and Gerlach on the front row, then Chambrone and Cohan in row 2, Hinker and Bueller in row number 3. And then with the exception of the 92 car, everybody else pretty much where they're supposed to be. Boyd is going to roll up here next to Casey Miller. Johnston and Joe Reuter, row 5. Then Borst and Hutchison in row 6. Lynn and Mueller and Watkins and Grease will round out the starting lineup. We'll get back to the front. These guys are about to go green 30 laps. the scheduled distance. Well, PG's fairly confident, thinks he'll be up here in the booth talking to us in about 30 laps. We will see if that holds true. But the green flag is in the air. PRO Sidewinder Dirt Series 360 sprint cars from USA. Underway. Scheider wasted no time, jumping straight to the lead. Gerlach into second. The jabroni falls into third right there, but here comes Bueller. Bueller has been quick all night long. He gets into 3 good, finds the slick stuff, and I don't think he's going to have much luck out of 4. Maybe he will, as Chambrone got sideways. Moves Chambrone back to 4th, Cohan 5th. Hinker is 6th, way up top, 7th and 8th side by side. Miller and Boyd, and G-Body finds the outside wall out of 2, drops himself back past Reuter all the way to the 9th spot. Robert Mueller rounding it out right now. But Scheider out in front. Gerlach comfortably in second now as Bueller has fallen back 5, 6, 7 car lengths. Hinker working his way on the inside around Chambrone. In on the bottom, keeps the right rear right there through the good stuff, and he takes the spot. Casey Miller, the 05 car, right through the center of the track. He's trying to make some noise right now. Here comes Chambrone off the top side. Great run for the 01, now gets boxed in. Oh, and that time down in the corner. Big wreck. Boyd is in that. Well, maybe that wasn't Boyd. Was that Hinker? Hinker got into that. Let's go back and see, because Nick Cohan is shown to have been into something too. This goes down in the corner, and Cohan gets sucked up into that wreck. So that's how the 21 car got involved. So you saw that. They went down the corner. I think maybe Miller overdrove that entry a little. I'm not really sure what happened there. So look at the cars that were on pit road already. Bueller, Cohan, Hinker, Watkins. I think Johnston is on pit road as well, possibly. Yeah, so we are really down cars already. Scheider, Gerlach, Miller, Chambrone, Reuter, Grease, Mueller, Boyd, Lynn, Borst, Hutchison, and Bueller. 12 cars remaining, 4 drivers. Already out of this. Trevor Hinker on pit road. They're trying to put some things back together on that car. I think he'll be some laps down. He comes back out. Trying to give drivers as much time as possible. To get things worked out. Ryan Bueller's car on pit road as well. That was one that I missed in that list. So only 11 cars remaining for the next 26 laps. Bodes well for Mr. Grease. He is up to 6th position. So the lights are off on the pace truck. I think we're going to go green out of turn number 4. The guy's ready to get back after 26 laps remaining. Scheider on the throttle, green flag back in the air. Right here in the middle, and Grease got alongside Chambrone for a second. Now into 3 and 4, and Chambrone going up the hill. Trying to use the momentum line. There was Mueller. Or excuse me, that's Robert Lynn that's right there in the middle of this. Lynn trying to work off a 2, keep Grease at bay. This is 7th and 8th. Chambrone is 6th. Robert Mueller. I thought I saw Mueller's car get in there. He's all the way up to 5th now. So the cat machine purring right along. He's tucked in behind Joe Reuter. Reuter is going to work around the inside of Miller, and he's got that spot going into 3. Move Reuter up to third temporarily. Battle for the lead starting to shape up. Here comes Gerlach side by side with Scheiderer. Out of 2 off the top side. Scheiderer with a good run. Goes right back around Gerlach. Right under us there in 3 and 4. They were almost 3 wide as Reuter is up to third. Mueller's in 4th and Grease is back to 5th. He's down on the bottom working around Casey Miller. Down to the inside. A little bit of moving going on there as he moves Mueller up the hill. Move Grease up to the 4th spot. Battle again for the lead. Here comes Gerlach out of 2 with a good run on the inside. Slider line up the hill. Oh, late to the party. And JP Scheiderer still crashing down the front stretch. It's the longest flip in the history of wrecking. Gerlach up the hill, and Scheiderer touches the back of that car and just starts tumbling. I think he's going to get whacked again right there. I think Garrett Boyd whacked him again, and that starts this long roll down the front stretch. So we'll go back to live. As Gerlach, Reuter, Grease, Mueller, Miller, Chambrone, Lynn, Boyd, Borst, and Hutchison all still on track. All right, so under caution again, 9 laps into this. Everything sorted out. Gerlach, Reuter, Grease, Mueller, Miller, Chambrone, Lynn, Boyd, Borst, and Hutchison. 10 cars remaining for 20 laps. So Gerlach podiums last week in the late model, and he is out in front tonight here in the sprint cars. 20 laps remaining. Pace truck is in. Gerlach's on the throttle.
Green flag, green flag.
Three wide for third through the middle of turns 1 and 2, and Grease shoots off the top side, reclaims the spot. Mueller still fourth. Casey Miller now looking to the inside, trying to take the spot away, and he'll have it. Miller up to the 4th position. Stays locked in on the bottom through the middle. Just too much momentum on the top side. I think you got to go high side 1 and 2 and then run the bottom in 3 and 4. I think you can make up some ground here. Drivers in front of him starting to pick up on that. Gerlach out in front. Now Reuter's in a battle. He's battling with Grease, and Grease in on the bottom. Can he keep the car parked there? Reuter goes to the top side, and he didn't have enough drive on the exit of the corner. And I think now it's just a matter of time, and there it goes. Peyton Grease will move around Joe Reuter and take over second. Reuter in third, and then it is a good 0.4 of a second, almost half a second back to Casey Miller. Reaching the halfway point, not this lap, but next lap. Gerlach out in front, little bobble there. keeping the car in on the bottom. He gets a good drive out of 2. Little free out of 4. This time, Grease will go to the high side, long way around, and he's got a lot of momentum, and he didn't quite get there. Gerlach will lock it in on the bottom. Try to get the bite out of 4. Nothing doing. Grease from 0 to hero. He takes the lead with 14 laps to go. Gerlach back to second. Reuter still third. Casey Miller not making up any ground. Has lost about 3-4 tenths since the last time we checked. And that is about the same distance back, about 8 tenths back to Robert Mueller. Chambrone, Lynn, Boyd is in 8th, then Corbin Hutchison and John Borst. Borst in 3 and 4, and Grease already out of 2. So he could become a lap car if this stays green. As Grease now half a second over Gerlach. Gerlach finds the fence, now comes down. He's got Reuter. He's around on the front stretch. If it stays in the grass, there won't be a caution, but he turns it out, and there's your caution. We're not going to go back and watch that when we watched it when it was live. Gerlach got out of shape. He kind of come down the hill. He and Joe Reuter touch. So I think Reuter will probably go back to second. I don't know where Casey Miller ends up in this deal, and he is 5th somehow. Actually, he's going to end up second. Reuter will be 3rd. I thought they would swap that back. So Grease, Miller, Reuter, Mueller, then Chambrone, Lynn, Boyd, Hutchison, Borst, and here comes the 71 of Josh Gerlach back into formation. So we should get the one to go signal this time. Hinker, Cohan, Scheider, Bueller, Johnston, and Watkins started. Currently all off track. So 6 cars out of 16. That is a little over 33% of the field. As we will get ready to go back to green. Out of 4, just waiting for the pace truck to get out of the way. Drivers starting to cinch things up. Green flag back in the air. Grease went to the bottom. So did Reuter. Miller going to the top, trying to reel in Peyton Grease. That big bump out of 4 I was telling you about, you watch the 05 car go across it. 10 laps to go that time by Casey Miller. Now starting to find something on the high side, and he's running down Peyton Grease. Grease swaps his lineup. He was running the bottom. Now he goes to cover the top line, gets the car a little out of shape. Now brings it back to cover that line again. Casey Miller now cuts to the bottom. Gap starting to open back up. Reuter still third. Mueller still fourth. Chambrone still fifth. Back to the front. We're going to put our eyes on the 20 car of Joe Reuter here. 1.8 seconds off the lead. Two leaders running identical lines now, right against the top. That time, Grease finds the fence, and Miller was a little too close. He had to roll out of the throttle. So Miller trying to close the gap. Got it down to 3 seconds. It'll be 5 to go this time by. That time Grease goes to the bottom in 3 and 4. Miller around the top side. And once again, Grease goes back to the top in 1 and 2. Now he goes back to the bottom in 3 and 4. We'll see if he can hang on to it or if Miller's got something working. Nothing doing that time. This time Miller goes in the middle. He's going to slide across. Can he find the bite and keep the lead down the backstretch? New leader down the backstretch, Casey Miller, but we'll see. Grease may have something to say. He's going to slide him right back. Tried to check it up, and Miller cut down early, and Miller's going to have the smooth part of the track. Grease found a bump. Car way out of shape with 3 to go. Big gap. Full second. It's a 1.2 second gap from second to third, so Grease plenty of comfort to get the car back under him, find some rhythm, and maybe go back on the attack as Reuter way back there in third. Casey Miller holding a 1 second lead with 2 to go. We're watching Peyton Grease now, see if he can run down the leader again. Had the lead, went to the bottom, and Miller found some speed. And we saw Grease get the car out of shape, and he gave up the point as he had raced from the back to the front. And now on the white flag lap needs to make up 3/4 of a second. Clips the wall out of 2. This time the car way sideways. He's going to have to gather back up. Reuter's closing in. Not quite enough, and Casey Miller out of turn 4 winning at USA tonight. Peyton Grease second. Reuter close third as Chambrone was right there. And Gerlach is going to finish 5th after he was up front for just a little while. But a great race by our 2 guys at the front. Grease ran from 16th to 1st and then a small bobble with about 3 to go. And he will come home second tonight. Joe Reuter with a great run is going to come home in third. As we'll get our drivers to pull them down here on the front stretch. Well, we'll see if we can get a look there. There's Reuter's car. Well, Joe's in already. Joe Reuter, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, Roger.
Well, man, pretty good a run for the 20 machine tonight. Going to come home bottom step of the podium, but it looked like the track got a little tricky, and you had a couple of shots to get real close to the front there. Tell us about your feature.
Yeah, I was really really glad there when that top got burned off because I feel like I'm pretty good running the bottom here, and I was able to track down the leaders, and I don't know what happened with Josh there, if he just came off the wall there, slipped up or what, but once I got that damage on my right front, I didn't really have anything for those top 2 at the end there.
Yeah, we saw a lot of guys have trouble when they got to the top, either bumping the fence or the car would get out of shape, and it got pretty thin up there. How long did it take after the feature started for you to notice that the top was not going to be the place to go?
Maybe like 5 laps in, really, because when we had that little issue there, my teammate Trevor passed like 3 or 4 cars on the bottom, and then kind of got wrecked going into 3 there. we kind of knew then that the bottom was going to be good. So then I was just able to run the bottom and get up to second there and almost able to pass for the lead. But then towards the end of the race, we got the bottom burned off and we had to go back up top. And yeah, there's a really bad rut coming off of 4. So if you hit that, the car gets way out of shape. And that's what happened. I did that in front of Nick there, coming to the white. So yeah, it's really, really crazy up there.
Well, an awesome run nonetheless. I'm sure you got some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you get out of here tonight.
Yes, sir, Roger. Just like to thank my mom and dad and grandma for watching, my wife and my kids, Team GSR. We had an okay run tonight. Unfortunately, 2 out of our 4 got wrecked, but we'll be back next week in the late models here and hope to put on a show for the fans.
All right, man. Well, congratulations again. Thanks for chatting with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you back in the Pro Lates next week.
All right. Thanks, Roger.
Joe Rudder, your third-place driver. I don't know where Peyton Grease went. He was on the grid. I was ready to key him up and bring him in, and I do not see him in the chat. Don't see his car out there, so I don't know where Peyton went. He had a hell of a run from 15th to 2nd. And, there. He comes to chat. So we're going to grief on him just a little bit here. We're going to tell him, you got to keep the car on the track, man, so we can get a good shot of it when you're out there. Peyton Grease. Fix your mic, buddy.
What's going on?
Man, you had a hell of a run from 16th to 1st, and then the last 3 laps, man. Tell us about that bobble there down in turn 4.
Yeah, actually, luckily no one caught it, but that caution there about 10 to go, I just tried something there in 4 and hauled it in there pretty good and with that rut, and it ended up shooting me into the wall. And ever since then, I just wasn't very comfortable up there and knew if anybody got a run, it wasn't going to work, and tried the bottom a few laps. And then Casey was able to get a run and hold his car really stable off 4, and I hit it wrong on a slide job, and that was all she wrote.
But a heck of a run. You take the back road challenge. You race to the lead about the midway point. You told me in the chat, talked to you in about 30 laps. Well, you're still talking to me, just not from the top, man, but got to be a gratifying run. No, you went to the back, and you raced your way all the way to the front tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. I knew felt like I should have, because I went quick time overall, and then the warm-ups I was quick time. So I decided to go back there and had the car pretty all done around the top there, and then the bottom really came in. And then once it got black slick across there, I was comfortable, pull my wing back, but still just off 4 has always been my nemesis when it gets a big rut like that. So it's always there. It's there for everybody, and I just got to learn how to get better.
All right, man, it was a great run nonetheless. Second, nothing to hang your head about. You got some shout-outs, some thank yous before we let you get out of here?
Yeah, just thank everybody that's watching. Got Bush's Chicken on the car, Upside Guzzlers, Raceline Clothing, CSI Shocks. They can always keep this thing dialed in, week out, in every series I run. And just you, Roger, putting on this broadcast, and try again next week.
All right, man, thanks for chatting with us, and we'll see you next week, bud. Peyton Grease, your second-place driver. He went to the back and still made his way to the front. But inevitably, he gets passed by the driver of the 05 car, Casey Miller. Casey, another win under your belt, man, and the defending champ looking pretty good here the last few weeks.
Yeah, it's the 3rd win of the season, and this is probably like my worst track on the schedule, so I was just happy to pick up. I just wanted to get a top 5 maybe out of here, have a good points run. I wasn't really expecting a win, but with all the chaos in front of me and everything, just worked out that way.
Well, you had to go earn it because Peyton Grease started 16th, and he ran all the way to the front. And then you figured something out there with about 10 to go. When did you figure out you could run the high line and keep the car underneath you, especially with that giant bump coming out of turn number 4?
Yeah, that bump's brutal. I don't know how many times it shot me into the wall. I was just hoping it didn't do that, because there's really not much you can do as long as you just got to keep the car pointed straight. But yeah, I saw the bottom started to burn off a little bit, so I decided I saw the guys in front of me go up to the top, so I figured I might as well try it too, because yeah, I got to do something, because I don't really like running the bottom here much, so I just wanted to rip the top, and worked out.
Well, like you said, your third win of the season, and at one of the tracks you did not necessarily look forward to coming to. Got to be pretty satisfying heading out of here with the trophy.
Absolutely. Anytime you can get a win it's a good time. These things don't come around too often, so I'm just fortunate to get one today.
All right, man. Well, some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you go relax and celebrate a big win.
Yeah, I'd just like to shout out Peyton coming from the back to the front, and shoplonglaneracing.com. You can get Long Lane Racing merchandise there, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, anything. And that's all I got.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on the win, and we'll look forward to seeing you back here in the late models next week.
Yep, see you then.
Casey Miller picking up the win tonight, the defending champ, and now his third win. Points lead is all his at this juncture. Let's take a look at our finishing order for tonight's feature. Miller wins at Grease with second, Reuter third, then Chambrone in fourth, Gerlach fifth. Mueller comes home sixth. Seventh went to Robert Lynn. Garrett Boyd in eighth. Trevor Hinker ninth. Nick Cohan 10th. John Borst was 11th. Corbin Hutchison 12th. 13th to J.P. Schutterer. Ryan Bueller in 14th. 15th was Tim Johnston, and Jerry Watkins rounded out the field. Another great race from this group. A lot of fun to watch these guys every Tuesday night. Mark your calendars if you enjoyed this one. Come back and see us next Tuesday. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Dominic Santina back into the booth. General Tires Winter Nationals presented by Tim Sims, powered by iRacing, presented by the Dirt Racing Network, or not the Dirt Racing, Dirt Slingers Racing League. Wednesday Night Warriors, a big block modified series. Round number 10 for those guys. They'll be at Eldora Speedway in the big blocks. And that series, the points pretty good in that series, within about 15, 20 points from first to second. And I think third place is not too far behind. It's been a week since I checked the points on that. But I know it's very close to the top. I want to say it's Garrett Boyd and Jacob Schmutz, I think, battling back and forth for the lead in that series. But be sure you tune in 8 o'clock Eastern for that. Say hi to Dom in the chat. And that will round out this week's broadcast schedule. But I always appreciate everybody that tunes in. Guys, I know you can watch this stuff all over the place. You choose to come and watch it here. So it is deeply, deeply appreciated. For Dominic Santina, Zach Krieger, myself here at the Dirt Racing Network, until we see you guys the next time.